I like the setup of that type of conversation. And of course, when they answer some of the questions from the audience, I thought it was really interesting. Some of them went really visionary in terms of ultimately what they wanted out of a registry. Right? It seems like at the end of the day, what people really want isn't these separate registries, but really almost like one registry that's the data of all Canadians. And subsequently, if you want to do research of course, everything has to be, uh, you know, from a privacy perspective, has to be okay, and data security and all the ethical. But if all those boxes are checked, then anyone should be able to do research on this data set so that they, basically Canadians benefit from that, right? From these results and from these answers for these, let's say, questions about a specifically disease and how a drug is working in a specific population. So
Yes.
it was interesting to hear that was ultimately what everyone, because I feel like it's like saying the quiet part out loud, right? Like, say, I think everyone would like that, but I think people generally don't say that because then you basically you may be upsetting one registry versus another registry, right? But it seems like
Oh,
everyone agreed.
I think that's the that's an important takeaway, right? Because you've got to take a look at where we're going. I mean, data may be bound by provincial boundaries today, but the reality is Canada is a small fish in a small pond, or the patients are small fish in a small pond, so to speak. If we want to be able to punch above our weight, to be able to truly assess products, to be able to feed into R&D, to create new products potentially, those are the kinds of things that require scale. I think I've said this before, many, many times, but having disparate little pots of data here and there is a losing strategy. And it's an easy strategy because everyone can get behind it, both the data holders as well as the data funders, but because it's small scale projects. But the reality is it's not enough. Now, there are people in the background, like you said, who are saying the quiet part in quiet rooms, trying to build sort of that vision of a shared infrastructure that would allow to have that access to sort of that broad swath of data in an ethical way to be able to do all of this. But until that becomes sort of the goal, the strategy out in the daylight, in public, with agreement, I don't think we're going to be any further ahead than we are today. I hear lots of people talking about, oh, but there's this project and that project and this technology, this and technology. It's not the technology, folks. Other countries, other markets are doing it. It's not the technology, it's the willingness. Are we willing to agree? Are we willing to work together? And do we know what that end goal should look like? What is it we want to get out of the data? I know what the patient groups want. I'm sure I kind of have a good sense what the payers want. But as a society, are we agreed on what we really want? Because that's the only way we get there.